Hello, fellow builders, and welcome back to the bench. You know, it's no secret that I am a fan of the sci fi. And we've been fortunate enough to have a lot of kits built over the years by Bondi, by Testor, MPC, just the list goes on. And even though it was a situation before where like a company would get the license and then you'd have to wait, well, what are they going to produce? And that was always exciting. The game changer for this whole thing has been the 3D printer. And and I've said this before, I'm really enjoying the 3D printer because it gives us the opportunity to have some of the things that we thought we might never have, such as this.
Transfer launch control to Viper fighters.
Patrol 2, launch when ready.
I've got the uniform, got the helmet, even have a blaster, and a land ram, and many different versions of the Viper. Didn't have a joystick. Now, that joystick was an actual joystick from the OV-10 Bronco, and the OV-10 Bronco was, I do believe, an observation plane, so that kind of explains what some of the buttons were for, like taking pictures, and it was modified over the years, blah blah blah. But I never thought that I always wanted one of the joysticks, and I even went out with the advent of the internet, looking online to see if I could find one. I could never find one, but even if I did, I'm sure. Now I found some Russian joysticks from Russian planes or whatever. They're out there. You can buy them, but they're not cheap. But thanks to Viper Wharf, they've got 3D printed ones. And again, this is one of those situations where you really didn't know how much you were going to enjoy it until you have it. The thing I thought was a problem was these buttons looked really, really big. So the buttons go in there. Actually, they go in like this. Oh, whoops. Gonna go in like that. And realistically, this thing has. This is just the upper part of it. There's a whole lower half that I didn't even print because I really don't need that. I think this is all I need. Now, the upside and the downside. Everyone just assumes that when you 3D print something, it's going to come out perfect and all you're going to have to do is slap some paint on it and be done with it. And that's just not the case. And here's why. And I'm finding, depending on the orientation that you have, the thing that you're printing in, you can get this kind of spaghettification, if you, for lack of a better term. Yeah, okay. So, and what I'm finding is it's happening on the bottom of these vertical shelves. Whenever you have something where as it starts to print and it starts to print out over an overhang, tends to string sometimes out because it's not catching on what it's supposed to catch on. But this is fine. This just goes back to you being a model builder and using your model building skills to fix that problem. This is just another thing. But at the end of the day, this is a lot better than I would have been able to come up with on my own because I don't feel like I'm a very good carver and trying to figure out what materials I was going to make it out of. You could always go out and spend the money and buy the joystick, and then but you spent all this money on this OV-10 joystick, and you're like, look what I've got. You know, to me, it means something a little bit more. The fact that you just didn't go out and buy a statue or blah 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 blah. You went out, you found something, you printed it, or you bought the model kit, and then, like I've always said, you made it your own. You painted it, you made the mistakes, you fixed them, and it's the same thing with these 3D prints. You're gonna enjoy it so much more when you print it yourself, you paint it, and then you can have it up on the shelf. And like, the next step for me would be designing. But for right now, I'm content with building other things that other people make. So thank you, Viper Wharf, for producing this, creating the 3D print file, and you'll see this in the near future when we start working on that. So, ready to launch. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications.